Hi there, thank you so much for being here and purchasing this video. The whole entire video is all going to be about making the connection, how to zone in on the 0 to 3 age bracket. Now, 0 to 3 of course means newborn to 3 years old, and this age group provides a really the best window of opportunity to build brain development. So when your baby is just born and you're bringing him or her home from the hospital, everything is kind of, everybody's in transition, right? A lot of times you may be deprived, right? And your baby is just trying to get used to being in this wonderful world that he or she was just born into. Well, I would suggest at around 2 months old is when you can start to really implement these techniques and tips that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Because at that age, they're kind of a little bit more familiar with, their surroundings and their bodies and how things work and crying and, everything else that goes on with babies. And so at around 2 months old, you can start reading to your baby. And you may think, well, that's a little too young. Well, actually, this is the best age point for you to start doing this. You just sit him or her. I have a baby here. I have a doll here that's going to represent a baby. So some of the demonstrations I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to use a baby, okay? I'm going to use the doll to represent the baby. So you can just sit him or her in your lap like this. Okay, this way. This way. So you sit them in your lap in this way. And then you have a book like this, right? And then you're showing the baby the pictures at the same time that you're reading the book. Instead of doing it this way, where the baby's over here and you're reading this way and you look this way, what you want to do is actually have them see the pages, even if they're flopping around and stuff, because they're only 2 months old. Because when you're speaking and you're reading the text that's in the books, you want the child to be able to look at the words and follow along and even recognize different colors and shapes at the same time. Another point I want to make is it is also very important to get books that have the touch feel component to it. This one has it. So this is here, and it provides different textures. And when your baby is already, even this young, you can start to, put their hands on the areas where the textures are, and that also builds the brain development. It encourages the connections of the synapses, to merge. And you just go on, and there's all different, kinds of textures and different feeling components in these book sets. So that would be the first thing I'm going to share with you, was the books and how important it is to have the touch feel factors involved in it. The other thing that I want to say here is kind of really important, even though they're at that young age, is to introduce them to stacking cups. Okay, so you may think, well, I don't understand, how am I going to do that if they're 2 months old? They can't even lift it. No, they can't, but you can grab a couple of them and demonstrate in front of them that the cups go inside each other. They go inside each other like that. Now, as your baby gets a little older, a few more months, then you can start having them, grab this. Now, as the months go on, of course, they're going to grab it, and where is it going to go? The first place it's going to go is in their mouth, right? But that's still a learning process as well. So the stacking cups are very important for their brain development, because then it teaches them to understand that things have to go into things, and this part of the brain makes those connections as well. So that is stacking cups. Now, this set of stacking cups is going to take you through years, because it starts at 2 months old, and then as they start to grab things and start to build things, this there's different ways that you can use this, right? You can start teach them how to stack it this way all the way up. You can also teach color recognition with these cups. So this is a very, very, very valuable tool for you to get this toy. Oh, I want to mention that all these toys and different educational products that I'm showing you today, I am not an affiliate for any of these companies. I just went out and shopped for things at local stores where I live, just things that I knew that would encourage brain development. So I'm not making any money off of promoting any specific product here. Okay, so that is the stacking cups and the baby and the books. Now, as they get a little older, I mean, really, maybe like 3 months, right? You can already start to introduce your baby to different types of toys like this. Now, this toy has a lot of different components to it, right? It has a grabbing here, and here, if I turn it on, then you can hear the music. It has music components. It has things that can turn here. It has a little teether, and also it has the black and white on the bottom, and bright colors. So that gives me a good point to make right now. And when you're buying toys for your infant, little toys like this, when you look in the stores, you want to have all those color schemes incorporated in the toy. So you want to have black and white, and you want to have bright colors, because this color combination helps for them to develop their eyesight and to focus better. So that's why they have the black and white in this toy. Now it says 3 months and up. They do that for safety measures, but so this is a very, very good tool to also encourage their brain development. Now, coming on, to other things when your baby starts to get a little bit older, and actually this one states the age to be from birth and up. So you can also, and you notice the colors here, you got the black and white, you have bright colors in here, you have different things that you can do. There's noises, there's colors. They can grab this, it's soft, they'll be able to feel the texture of it. All of that is all really, really good choices for brain development. So as your baby gets a little older, as your baby gets a little older, you want to introduce your baby to new toys, always increasing their variety so that their brain has a chance to continue to grow and to make those connections in their brains with their synapses. So after that one, I really, really like this one. This one says 12 months and up, but you can actually open this up much sooner, because it has all different little parts to it. It's like a puzzle that moves and it makes noise. And this is also a very important technique to learn and to teach your baby, is to pick things up and then how to put things inside of things, right? Like puzzles, because that is the most important thing, is to teach your baby that things go into things. That is going to be the number one thing for brain development, and that's why puzzles are so important. If anyone asks me what's the best toy to get a baby or a child, I always tell them puzzles. Any kind of puzzles that are age appropriate, because you don't want to stress them out, right? But yeah, so this toy is really good. It has the bright colors, it has the other things. And so when your baby is, 3 4 months old, you can um actually from 2 months old, you start to put things in front of him or her, and teach your baby how to grab, how to reach for things, because that is all about, building the motor skills, and also their eyesight, right? And how to reach for things and grab things. And then once they grab it, they'll look at it and examine it and just be like, don't know what it is, but they're being exposed to something new, right? So that's all, increasing their brain development. um, so that is the elephant. So let me just move some things around so that I have room on my desk. It's like the wonderful toyland here right now. Then the next one that I chose is this wonderful, what is the age group in this one? 12 plus months. But again, you can definitely start to introduce your baby to this at a younger age. This one provides a lot of brain stimulation because it has these balls in it that have little toys in it that spin. So it's like when you're looking at it and you're focusing on it, there's a lot of different things that are going on, which that is all like registering in their brain and helping them to process and helping them to build those connections and build brain development. So this one, when they're probably about sitting up and stuff, would be a good time to show your baby this toy, because they can sit there, and then of course the ball, first thing that's going to happen, it's going to go to their mouth. But you can be sitting right there and showing and demonstrating. You grab the ball, you put it on the top, and then you watch it go down, right? And then you can also enhance the learning process by introducing the colors. Like, oh, this is the ball that goes in from the top. That's a learning component as well. This is red, and then it goes down green, blue, yellow, right? And then keep doing that, and this also increases their brain development. Very, very, very good toy. And these toys are not that expensive either. And so then I want to show you some really, really, really good puzzles, and an electronic toy that I just absolutely love. Now, this is the kind of puzzle that you want to start your baby out with, okay? Because it has big knobs on it, right? So what you want to do is, when your baby is starting to sit up, right, and sitting on the floor, and you're having floor time with your baby, you actually put your hand on the knob, right, and then you move it around on the board, so that when it finds it, right, so that's what you want to do. You want to guide their hand over it and go like that until they find the space. And when they find the space, what you want to do is provide a reaction to it, so that they are understanding that that is the correct way. So once it gets in the right way, you can clap, yay, now let's try another one. And then you go to another one, and then you try. Now, if they're doing that and it's the wrong one, then you gently guide them to the correct one, and then you do some type of reaction, yay, or whatever you want to do to show that recognition. So and then as your baby gets older, this one in particular will then introduce them to shapes as well, right? So this is an oval, a triangle, a circle, a rectangle, and a square. So then you would be able to keep this puzzle for years, because you started at maybe 6 months or so, and then it'll take you through, because there's so many different learning components in this puzzle. Now, the next puzzle that I have to show you is something similar, but it has a more colors, and more shapes. And it's the same process. You just put it through. Now, also what your baby might start to do is when they're grabbing this, of course, like I said before, it's going to go straight to their mouth. But they're also maybe hit it against each other and make noise. These are wood blocks, so that's great too, because they are learning that, take one in one hand and one in the other, put it together, and it makes a noise, it makes a sound. So that's all perfectly great brain development activity. So here's the colors, the same thing. You just put their hand over it, and you guide them, right? And then you can talk about the colors and the shapes as well. It just enhances the envelopment. It enhances the development. Sorry about that. So that is that puzzle. Oops, sorry about that noise. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, this is this is my favorite, one of my favorite things. Anytime I know somebody who's having a baby shower or maybe a 1-year birthday or something, I look for toys like this, because this has so many options and it's so cute. So this one has the giraffes on the side. Now, you see these beads here? These beads, and how it has the circles and all the wires going up and down and in circles. So what you want to do here is at first you want to, the same process, right? Put your hand over your baby's hand and then show them how to do it. Go from the bead and go up and down, up and down, up and down, around and around in the circles and everything. Now, what this does is it starts to teach your baby how to write, because it's the motion, right, of writing circles up and down, right? Think about it. When you write, that's the motion that you're doing, right? And then on the bottom, there's other blocks with numbers and colors and different pictures of things. A lot of different educational components within one toy that will enhance brain development as well. So this is a very, very good toy to have as well. Let me just put that down. Now, as your baby gets a little older and you start to expose him or her to more and more different toys and a variety of things, of course you want to introduce blocks, right? Because blocks is one of those, you can never go wrong with blocks, no matter what the color is or what the size is, because it encourages building something. And in the beginning, it's just about discovery. How do you put this one in this one? And then as your baby gets older, they'll start to build things, and that comes from imagination, right? And then they'll learn, like when they build like this tower, it goes all the way up, and then they knock it down, right? So these are all different ways to enhance the educational process. So I got this one as an example. And again, you have colors there. These particular blocks have numbers on them as well, so you can introduce the numbers to your baby. Just talk to them. This is a red block. This is number 2. What number are we going to put on number 2? Oh, we're going to put a 3, right? And then you just keep talking and encouraging that. And same thing, they're going to put it in their mouth first, but then they're going to understand it. You can have these types of things around your baby when they're on the floor, because then they can go and reach for them and hit them together and try to figure out how to put something in something. That's all wonderful brain development. And then also what you want to also have is something that a section that really identifies different colors. And so I thought this was like really, really a cool toy. And it is a complete set of, 5 colors, right? Red, purple, green, yellow, and orange. And then in each of the buckets, there's items that are that color, right? So this provides, a lot of learning opportunities as well, because the colors, the buckets, they'll be able to grab things, hold things, put them in the right bucket. You can say, like, this is a red apple, right? So grab the red apple. Where's the red bucket? This is all things that you want to expose your baby to. And then, your baby's gonna soon be a toddler, and toddlers are excited to learn. They're always, exploring and looking for something to do or something to understand. And sometimes parents get frustrated because it's like, oh, they can't keep still and they're always into things that they shouldn't be into. But you need to understand that they don't know that they're not supposed to be into something. If something is piquing their interest, then they're gonna, walk over there and look at it and touch it, and all of that is learning, right? So of course the important point there is, just to make sure that your house or the area where your toddler is located is, of course, childproof, so that they have free range to explore their environment and, really get to, touch and feel and explore these different items and objects that are in front of them. All wonderful brain development opportunities. Now, this is one of also my favorite things, and it is the alphabet apple. Okay, I'm not sure if you've seen this yet, but I actually picked it up on Amazon, but they have them in, all the stores too. This has a lot of different ways to teach your baby and your toddler sound, music, letters, it's spelling, memory. As your toddler gets a little older, it even helps them. There's different memory games and all different things. And whoever designed this is very, very clever, because this is just a part of the thing, but this comes out and there's actually a hole here, so they can carry this around. And I've seen 2-year-olds walking around with their apple, and then they sit down and they start pressing it and learning, the letters and the different songs. And you move this, there's a lever here, and you move this up and down to whatever segment you want to, introduce your baby or your toddler to. This is a wonderful, wonderful learning tool for language development, and also, brain development and connections and everything like that. And so another thing that I want to point out to you is, I hear this from some parents, right? And it is this, I don't have time to teach my baby. I have all these things that I need to do, and I don't understand, how you think I have time to, incorporate all of these different, learning resources, and to help my baby, develop more brain development when I am so busy. I work full time, and I'm, after work, I'm rushing everything. So what I want to say to those parents out there who think that they don't have time to teach their baby is this. Either you are teaching your baby structurally, and you are providing information in the environment that would really enhance their brain development in this 0 to 3 window of opportunity that you have, or you are teaching them other things that they're learning anyway. So let me give you an example of that. So if you tell me that you don't have time to teach your baby or your toddler, but of course your baby is with you, right? So your baby is still learning. They're observing your behavior and your choices and what you're doing. So if you're putting your baby in a car seat and they're just sitting there and they're just looking around, and you'll notice that if they are starved for learning opportunities, they're going to watch every move you make. They're going to look at you. Anything that you do, they're moving because they want you to, provide them something so that they can enhance their brain development. They want to learn, right? Because they're put in this world blank, and everything that they're taught and their development is solely dependent on what we as parents expose them to, right? So if they're in a car seat and you are not, spending exact one-on-one time with them, but you're doing other things and they're just watching you, it's because they want some type of interaction with you. Now, I'm not talking about, interaction with your baby and your toddlers 24/7, because that can also, lead to be your baby or your toddler becoming overstimulated. And to look for those signs is when too much information is coming to them at one time, and their brains cannot download all that information. So what happens is, they'll show you different signs, and one of them is they'll have a blank look in their eyes. They'll just look blank because it's too much for them. They need to shut it down and regroup. And another sign is when they just kind of like fall asleep. They just doze off, and it's not a long nap, and it's not a real nap. They're just little tiny cat naps. And what those little tiny cat naps provide is their brains it provides their brains an opportunity to reload and refocus, because too much information is coming at them. But so how do you counteract that, right? So you just do things throughout the day periodically, right? And you allow your baby to have their own alone time too, and their own time to, have discovery, right, on the floor, and different toys and different objects. Now, anytime your baby is with you, you are teaching him or her. So if you're on your phone and you're talking, and let's say you have a toddler already, and your toddler is maybe 2 years old, and you're playing with your baby, and then your phone rings and you're picking up your phone and you're talking on the phone, you are teaching your baby that, I don't really want to say that the phone is more important, because sometimes the calls are important, right? But what I do want to say is that they are observing and, taking in all this information. So it's not only that you took the phone call in the middle of your playtime with your baby or your toddler, it's how you're talking, what you're saying, what your tone is. All of that, they are, absorbing that energy from you. So you just may want to be a little careful if you're having some kind of conversation that involves conflict of any kind. You may want to be really careful of how you are exposing that to your baby, because your baby and your toddler, they do not have life experience yet to understand and how to shield them from different information that's coming their way, right? And also, I want to say that when you are with your toddler, and of course they're walking and everything, that's all opportunities for you to be teaching as well, and it still increases their brain development and their brain activity. So if you're in the car, instead of playing your music, talk to your baby, sing to them, sing the ABC songs, count, talk about different colors. When they're getting out of the car, you can count their steps. Oh, let's get out of the car now. Oh, 1, 2, come on, 1, 2, and then let them follow you. 1, 2, 3, and then you celebrate 3, yay! And if you're walking up or down steps, you can always count them. And in this age range, you want to go 1 to 10 until they master 1 to 10, and then introduce them to 11, 12, 13. Because when you introduce them to 1 to 20 too quickly, it's too much information for them. But you do the 1 to 10, and then they have that mastered, then you start to increase, and then you teach, okay, now you go back to 1 and you add that to the 10, and it then equals to 11. and then you can speak that way and then increase their brain development that way as well. Now, in a grocery store, so many opportunities to help develop their brain development. Even if you just have a baby yet, like 4 months old, and the baby is in the car seat, and the car seat is a place on the shopping cart, right? And the baby's just looking around, probably has a little toy, and they're putting it in their mouth, and they're looking around. Well, you can be shopping and getting your getting your errands done, and fulfilling your household obligations while teaching your baby, because there's so many opportunities in a grocery store. There's numbers, there's colors, there's produce, right? There's fruits, there's vegetables, and fruits and vegetables have wonderful bright colors, right? So let's say you're walking by, and you decide to go and grab a couple of apples, right? So you could just say, oh, look, we're going to buy apples today. Apples are red apples. And even though your baby is young, right, 4 months, 3 months, they're still looking at it and observing their environment, and they're still downloading this information, and it's still a valuable, educational opportunity for them to learn, and for of course, their brains to continuously be connecting. Same thing with an orange, right? An orange. What color is an orange? An orange is orange. An orange is round. This is a circle, right? A lot of opportunities for you. And of course, you can't forget the banana, the yellow banana, right? So those are all opportunities for you to be teaching your baby, and to be exposing them to a variety of different toys and different opportunities for him or her to explore and to learn and to build their brain development. Now, the last toy that I have here is a toy that you can start to introduce your toddler to, and it is just wonderful, because it increases and includes so many different educational components in it, and that is magnets. This is such a great toy to have. Not only is the colors and the shapes, but they learn science, right? They learn the magnetic forces. You put something together and it sticks. And then as they get older, they'll be able to build, some very, wonderful objects, right? And then look at the back of this, right? Look at all these other choices, right? And then also, this will take them all the way through, elementary school and even beyond, because this is all about science and engineering and creativity and everything. And so what you can do is you buy like this is a starter pack. I guess it's only 14 pieces, but as your child grows and develops, and you're gonna be able to tell when your toddler or your preschooler is gonna want to learn more. Then you just increase the different size and shapes and colors of other magnets, and then you add it to this group, and then because their magnets are going to all stick together. You don't have to stick with one brand. It doesn't matter, because they're all magnets. And so that is the magnets. Very good, very good toy. I like to also give that as a present for little older children, maybe 2-3 years old, because it's just a wonderful way for them to encourage creativity and brain development and building things, and just really just like maybe creating something in their imagination and thinking, okay, I want to build this maybe car or airplane or something, and then being able to like maneuver the magnets to make them work and to make them create the actual product, or the structure. It's very good. The last point I want to make here is that, actually, I want to have a question for you. So out of all of the toys and options that I provided for you in this video to enhance your baby and toddler's brain development, have you noticed that none of them have any characters or superheroes or Disney characters or anything? You know, there's no Superman, there's no Batman, there's no Wonder Woman, there's no, you know, anything like that. And I did that for a reason. And I have raised my own child from the time she was 3 months old as a single parent. And what I learned, well, I was already, you know, in school part-time, so I was taking some psychology courses, and I was learning early stages of addiction and also brain development, you know, over the lifespan, and just very interesting things that we as parents can do to enhance our baby's brain development. My daughter was 18 months when I went back to school. Anyway, what I did learn from going through those classes is that when you expose your baby and your toddlers to a specific character, let's say you introduce them to Batman, right? And then they have all these Batman, you know, toys, right? And of course, you know, if you really look at those toys, there's not a lot of, you know, brain development and enhancement that is going to be encouraged by using those toys. Those are just the toy industry, and it's just marketing. It's just all about, you know, money, right? It's about selling their merchandise and getting in when the consumer is still just a baby, right? But they get it through the parents, right? And so what can happen, I want to be very careful here. Ouch. I want to be very careful here. What can happen is early, very, very early stages of addiction can start to form, right? Because let's say you expose your baby to having all Batman things, or if it's a girl, maybe it's all, you know, strawberry shortcake. So their plates and their cups and everything is that print, and their toys and their blankets and their pajamas and everything is with that character, right? And then you'll notice that if you try to put a different cup in front of them to drink, or a different bowl, they don't want it. They only want the one that has that character on it, right? And then they cannot handle it, right? Because they are being exposed to just one thing, and that's what their brain is learning, right? Everything is this. And then they become attached to that. And then sometimes you would see them, you know, react that way, right? No, I don't want that. I only want my bowl. Where's my Batman bowl? I'm not eating that until you give me my Batman bowl, right? Does this sound familiar to you? So those are all indications that, you know, they may already be starting to show signs of being addicted to the character, which is not healthy, because it could develop into becoming the precursor for other addictions later on in life, right? So your child, your baby and your toddlers, if they're exposed in an environment that has a variety of different things, right, and things are, you know, not attached to a character, you know, and it doesn't have to be plain, but just not like, you know, everything is, you know, Batman or Superman, or everything is, you know, strawberry shortcake or Dora the Explorer. You know, you want to be very careful about that. And I'm just speaking from, you know, understanding how this can actually occur. And so so all these toys here are, you know, they're bright colored, and there's reasons why they're all created this way, and it is to enhance the brain development. It's not about, you know, putting a character on a toy and then marketing it, and then, you know, just to make money on the character. Okay. I don't have anything against companies making money, okay, but I do get concerned when I see children in stores and stuff, and it's just everything is just one character, and that really concerns me because it could, you know, develop into addictions and choices later on in life, because they're learning that they can't like live without something, and then they also start to create like power struggles with you, because it's like you know, some parents are just like, they'll give in, right? And it's like, I can't, I have to give them that Batman bowl, otherwise he or she won't eat. They'll just keep throwing, you know, a tantrum over it. They'll keep reacting because they really feel like they need that bowl. Nothing else is going to work. That is not a good sign. So please be careful with that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you being here and learning all these different ways that you can enhance your baby and your toddler's brain development, and just, you know, connecting those synapses is so very important in this 0 to 3 window. If you have any comments or questions about any of the information that I provided here, you can reach out to me directly at parentchatvideos@gmail.com. And I also have a YouTube channel that I provide free parenting tips and solutions for struggling parents. And you can find it on YouTube under Parent Chat Videos. So thank you so much again for being here, and enjoy your journey with your baby, and happy parenting. Goodbye now.